Hi, everyone, and welcome. This is Krishna Priya. This is a Human Colony Hucolo webinar. It's Saturday, 02/22/2025. We just were marveling at all the twos just a moment ago. And we have today our very wonderful host and channeler, Jim Charles. Hi, Jim. And
Hello,
then
how are
Ange
you doing?
has popped in for a moment. Ange, do you have something that you?
Not yet. I'm waiting for announcements.
Oh, okay, you're gonna do them from there. I see. Okay. Well, we have Jim here, and then in the room today, right now, we've got 15 in the room. So let me see who else here. We have, what's happening? Oh, here we go. We have Yana, Jim, Adriana, Barbara, Christine, Jim's living room, which consists of Will and Angie, Joan, Michael, Near, which is a guest. Welcome, Near. Radha, Selesh, Sierra, Susan, and Wendy. So welcome, everyone. We would like to have some announcements now, please, Angie, if we could.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. Jim and I went to the EES system on Wednesday. We did an overnight and we did a channeling and an interview of the owners of the system, the recharge room. And so we are creating a video on that, and then we'll at a future time, we will have that video available for everybody.
Yeah, we're going to live stream it, and then Angie and Jim, if he's available, will talk about what they were experiencing, what they were doing, you know. So that'll be something different and fun.
It was a really very interesting time.
Yeah.
We had a good time, and it was a good interview with the owners. They were great.
Oh, that's awesome. Great. Don't tell us too much. Don't give
Right.
anything away.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So should we start with some blessings, and then we'll get going with some requests.
I'll do a blessing while I'm
Let
right
me
here.
just see something, because do you
Or
know what did not happen?
what?
YouTube didn't
Hi,
take
everyone, and
over.
welcome.
See, there it
This is
is.
Krishna Priya. This is the Human Colony Hucolo webinar.
What is that? That's crazy.
That's a
See?
long delay.
No, you know what I did? I just learned something. I had my thing on full screen, my Zoom on full screen, and it covered everything else. But I still was not able to mute it because it's still played. So, but I just want to make sure I could check the YouTube chat. So hi, everyone in the YouTube chat as well. All right.
I
So
can do a blessing if you want, while I'm right here, and then I'll head out.
okay, well, so I guess Will can do a blessing at the end
Yeah.
because he's in the other room.
Yeah.
So we'll do in this order: Angie, Yana, Barbara, Wendy, and Susan. Okay? So Angie, Yana, Barbara, Wendy, and Susan. I hope I did it in the same order I just did it. So, and then Jim will interpret. All right, great. Okay, go ahead whenever you're ready, Ange.
Dora sata ara shike era u. Hora eseke enech oto ara sata ke emi itu u. Dura sike mo uto oshe ena a koto ora sata.
Keep faith, my children, and keep in love with the fact that God is helping you, loving you, guiding you, and directing you. Stay in line with all things, and you will be safe. You will be sound and not have to weary.
Thank you.
Stika ortonoho hantea takartene este. Et pe ert hente ok ortomoko aetana taiste. Et i ahaka hantea to ortomo ahaikene. Past arto makato u iakanata este keta per he o hakanaka asta tuturtu pane. Menne oko hort. Menne oko ortomata tajasta katanete me o ost hart hana kataite.
There are many still coming and awakening in front of you and before your eyes. The population of those that are awakening is staggering, and they will find themselves looking for these places for food and for nurturing. It is time for all that are awake to find their way quickly, for it is a time of great urgency and of great interest and of great need.
Shituru hatara makasi hata hohokoshi. Shimini diara baka shohoati anokoshi. Kabara hahakariki nidi apachosho. Titiri abadarata kisi atsakuro dotisi. Kishini hata dokuba kiki ata kuroto hiata ha gata.
Be kind to one another. Know that the light is coming through and lifting each of you up. If one is down, reach out so that you can lift them up and move them into the right place. As you move up, others move up as well. As they move down, they can bring you down as well. So make sure that everyone is happy and make sure that their problems are met or at least tended to in some way, so that you may all rise together.
Niro tora na hai tituira na hai tatakeira ba ni ora ni rotora papa era ni ora ya yoro pakai kaira na ora pa era ero no ora.
The arms of God are around you and are holding you. Keep yourself safe. Keep yourself engaged in what God wants you to do. Remember that He is all there is, and His children are very important to Him, each and every one. For He meets you, each and every one, on your own understanding, and each and every one on their own behalf.
Tasika ya tuturia tia, hia sia uko ya titia sikia, tututia ya kia, hia tututia ya titia ya kia, tututia ya sika hia o tita ya titia sia, hia soa ya kika kututia ya tia sukuhua, hitia ya kia, tututia ya tititia, hia saya o saya ya titia, o suya ya titia ya sukuya ya titita ya kutitia ya tita ya utututia ya, hia saya kia, tututia. Blessings.
Do not do anything that will compromise your faith in God. Remember that you are moving forward and He needs you at this time. It is a great work that needs to be done, and it is a great time to do this work. It is a watershed time when things will change and things will move in different pathways and different light sources. Remember to keep on the right light source, and you will be fine. All right. Is there anything else? Hello?
No, there's nothing else. We're gonna do the requests now, if that's okay.
Very good.
Okay, good. All right. So we have the requests are, I didn't get a request for Elijah, but I'm gonna say Elijah for Angie, even though she didn't say it. The Buddha, Running Bear of the Wild Rivers, Grendel, Leprechauns, Metatron, Astar, not Ashtar, but Astar, and let's see. Was there any other requests? And Seria, Seria, and then I'm just looking in the YouTube chat. Oh, and Medea, the Greek goddess. Yeah, those are the requests. And then there's a great question that a comment someone just made. Can I say it? It's not a request, but it's a comment.
Definitely.
Nancy from the YouTube chat says, I'm just reading the news from CNN that says scientists discover a new super Earth 20 light years away. It's a different Earth. Huh.
Interesting.
Cool. All right, great. So That's what we have. Do you need me to go through the requests again, or do you have them?
If you would be so kind, that would be great.
Okay, the first request was Elijah, the Buddha, Running Bear of the Wild Rivers, Grendel, Leprechauns, Metatron, and I'm gonna say, she said how to say it, Siraya, Octurian human hybrid that she teaches in Polona. She's a young adult. And also Medea.
Is it pronounced Soraya?
Is it Soraya or did I say it? How do you say it, Susan?
Yes, Soraya is correct. Yep.
Soraya. Okay. Okay, great. And did I miss anybody's request? No.
That is good. Okay, very good.
Okay, great.
Quite a few to choose from. So
Yeah.
everybody think good, positive thoughts, and we'll go into our channeling now. Thank
Okay,
you.
perfect. All right. We'll see you in a little bit. You have water, everything you're set up?
Yep.
Okay, good. All right.
Greetings, my children. Be true under God. This is Elijah. Sorry, I did not announce myself. Be true unto yourself, being the person that you need to be, because the God knows who you are meant to be. And if you are true to that purpose of who you are, then you will also be true to your purpose on your mission and what you need to do. Remember that you must be yourself before you can change any other lives. You must be totally worthy within yourself. I shouldn't say worthy, but you should be confident in yourself so that you may lift others up. For if you are not confident in who you are, how are you able to change the masses? It is time for everyone to give up those things that they know that do not need anymore. It is time for people to purify, time for people to reach out into a greater, higher area, because it is a very possibility that this is not a good time in this world. It will be harsh at times, but you saying who you are, being yourself, will help you to become the greater of all things. I know that that does not sound very, the words are not coming to me today, but the thing is, you must know who you are. You must be yourself. You must understand that being yourself will change others, because without being yourself, you cannot possibly reach into anyone else's heart, soul, or mind or spirit, because they will see the falsehood within you. They will see that you are not genuine. And if they see that you are not genuine, then they will know that you are not to be believed or not to be followed. So purify yourself. Make yourself worthy of praise, because you are praising God and you are being what God wants you to be. So therefore, you must reach out and know that God is with you. And then find confidence in who you are as an individual. Many of your personality traits are there for a reason. They are there to enhance you. They are there to make you greater. They are there to reach into other people's and connect with them. Not everyone is the same, so not everyone can reach everyone, but you will be able to reach the people that you are connected to in a very real way in this realm if you become the perfect person that you are meant to be. It is hard to understand what that means at times, because people collect different things within themselves, different angers, different thought processes, different bad habits and things of that nature that need to be dismissed. And as you dismiss these things, you become more whole. You become more alive. You become more happy. You become happier. Let's put it that way. It is that you are someone that needs to be purified and be the most perfect that you can be to be able to sway the masses into knowing that God is the true light. I know that many of you know this, and I know that many of you are on that path. But it is time to purify. That is my message for today. It is short, but it is important. Thank you.
Elijah, can I ask one question for someone in the chat?
Yes.
Because it's a biblical question. Someone wants to know, what is the mark of the beast in the Bible?
The mark of the beast will be a number. It will be either 616 or 666. The mark of the beast will be inputted into your body according to the way that I understand the way humans work. They will try to make it so that you can only use this mark to buy food or clothing or anything. So they can control the masses by having this mark used as a code within them on the forehead or within the wrists or wherever they choose to put it. And it will be scanned, just like your credit cards or any of that kind of thing. It will be scanned and the credits in your bank will be removed to buy or purchase. But if you do not get this mark, then you will be a criminal. You will be sought after. But you do not want this mark because it will foul you. It will make you different. It will change you.
Okay, thank you for that. And in any time frame to when this becomes a necessity or I say a forced necessity of the world? Maybe necessity is not the
They
right word.
already have the technology to do it in this on this world.
I'm asking, when is it going to become something required?
When they decide to do it, I do not know exactly when that will be, but I do know that they have the technology for it already, and that will be part of the global economy eventually.
Okay, okay, thank you for that. That was
You're
the
welcome.
question. All right.
Greetings, I am Metatron.
Welcome,
Someone
Meredith.
was called.
Yes, yes, I believe that was Susan.
Very well. What is it that you would like to know?
Susan? She might have stepped away.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I did step away. Is this Metatron or Soraya?
Metatron.
Metatron. So I'm a fractal of you, but we haven't connected in a while, and I'm just wondering if you can provide an update as far as the changes upon the planet and how we can best adapt as we're going through these ascension energies.
I am using a lot of mathematical algorithms to change things on your planet. The planet is actually in one of its decline periods, but it always does have decline periods. That doesn't mean it's permanent. That just means that as you look at most scales, they go up and then they come down a little before they go back up again. Does that make sense to you? Because right now you're in a decline and everyone needs to know that a prayer is needed and prayer is uh, uh, absolutely necessary for this to change. And the state of the earth is in flux, I will say it that way, because the fluctuations from good to evil and all these things are fluctuating. People are confused. People do not know which way to turn. People are trying to make a better life for themselves, but life does not seem to want to cooperate with them. So they are trying to find new and different pathways to better themselves. It is a time when connection is important. Connection one to another, because that is strengthening to you. If you bring yourself into isolation, then how can you be helped? How can you have anyone work with you? It is that you are someone that is alone and you have no energies with anyone else. And so you need to connect to many people, as many as you can, to find your common place with them. And so to be in a stronger energy pulse with the world. And that energy pulse to move forward, to move upward, to move into a higher place.
Beautifully said. Is there any, I guess, additional guidance around some of the physical challenges that I know I'm going through some, I know other people that I know also, my pets have been going through some challenges too. I think with the heightened energies that have been coming in have been very intense, and requiring more rest, I think. Is there, I guess is there an end anytime soon? Probably not, but is there anything that you can guide us as far as how to work through some of this and kind of stay in our divine flow and not get kind of dragged down by these energies that are weighing heavily? I know we're releasing a lot too, releasing a lot of density along with that too.
First of all, stay grounded. Second of all, stay calm. Make yourself calm. Do a lot of breathing exercises. Do exercises that will bring you into a calmer, peaceful mind. And also, you want to also make sure that you are balanced and you are moving forward in the most correct way that you can. With balance, your mind, body, soul, spirit, and emotions will always tell you when they are off, because you will not always feel proper. But your body is different. Your body is picking up all these different kinds of energies that need to be released. And so with calming, with balancing, you can release many of these energies, but there will always be pain and sickness on your planet because of all the energies that are not so good for individuals, that are coming from 5G, from microwaves, from different things that are very commonplace in your realm. They do implant themselves in each being in some way. Not all people are feeling unhealthy, but a lot of people are, because these energies are not pure to your body. And if they are not pure to the body, then they will cause problems. And so just sit in a place, relax, calm yourself, ground yourself, lift yourself, and move these energies out through your hands and feet. Just pray to God that He pushes them down to Mother Earth to be purified. She can do that.
Wonderful. Thank you for that advice. I'll let you continue on to answer other questions, but thank you very much for coming here. Much love to you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Michael has a question. Go ahead, Michael.
Greetings, Metatron.
Greetings.
As sacred geometry, I have some tattoos and I also have your cube.
Yes.
Having a tattoo of that, and does it help or on your body or no?
It can. It does not necessarily have to help, but it can help if you refer to it as much as possible and understand the reference. Because each of these symbols and mathematical creations have great meaning. And if you connect to that meaning, then then it will help you. The tattoo itself is meaningless unless it has a meaning to you. And if you do not use that meaning or do not connect with that meaning, then it's just a tattoo.
Okay. And I've got another question. It's something that I have heard from another channeler about. They were saying like an asteroid's coming to this world, but it's not actually an asteroid. It's the Orions, Zetas, and I was wanting to know if you knew anything about that or anything you could share with us.
There will always be those references and rumors about things coming to the planet. Of course, they could be on their way, but they can also, if they are technology advanced, move aside and do something different. It does not mean that they are going to crash into the planet, but it does mean that they're heading this direction. However, there is nothing that I see that will cause that kind of damage right at this time, not for several years, and maybe even more than that. But it is that they like to tell you that they see these things because actually they may get a glimpse of it in their channeling process that something is heading toward this planet, but it's not always going to make its way here. If it's especially technologically based, it will move aside.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Blessings.
You're welcome. Anything else?
No, that I don't know if there's a question in the Jim's waiting room, but at the moment, I don't have any other questions for
All
you.
right, very well. I will leave you to yourselves.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yes. Someone has called the Leprechauns.
Yes, Yana called the leprechauns.
Ah, we
They
are.
welcome. Is there anything you'd like to share about where you are, or are you a collective? Are you an individual?
I am an individual.
Mm.
But I am not based in Ireland as you might think. I am based more in the middle part of the United States. And
Oh.
so there's leprechauns all over the world.
Yeah.
Do you have a name that we can call you?
Lika,
Leaker.
yes.
Nice to meet you. Welcome. Welcome, Leaker. Thank
I
you.
am happy to be.
Yana?
What
Yes.
questions do you have for me?
Hello, Lika. Thank you for coming, and thank you for taking time out. I'm Jana, and I am reading about the Irish leprechauns through the books Tennis Halliwell wrote, and I'm very curious about. They were new to me, and I'm very curious about your species and as you how you live. And I'm also curious, as living in Holland, whether there are leprechauns living here and what areas I could visit to make contact.
Oh, yes, they're all over the place. We are not just limited to Ireland, although that is our home place. That is where we began our lives, if you want to be specific. But we moved to all different places because all different places need us. We are also helpers of the earth, ecologists, but more than that, we are keeper of the balance of power. We are powerful individuals, And we do balance the ecologies and the way mankind thinks at some points. We're not doing a great job at the moment because mankind is too individualized at this point, too separated. We like to work with humans in groups and in large masses, but we do not like to work individually because that's a waste of time.
Okay. So are you of a kind within your species to connect to humans already? Do you like to co-create?
We do. We take on the personalities of some humans. Some people think we are human. I mean, we are not as tall as humans, but we can make ourselves into human form. So we do relate to humans in many different ways. And many times it's for leadership positions and for actually influencing groups of people or someone that's the leader of a group of people so that they may take our message to a group of people or a mass of people. And then sometimes we just do that and leave. And other times we have to stay there for a while to make sure that the message gets fully integrated into the group.
Thank you. For what I understood was there's a more conservative way of living that is very much appreciated by your people.
Yeah.
But there's also a part of your people that wants to move more forward and to get into co-creation with humans again, to be guardians of this earth.
That is where I stand.
Yes. Oh, that's wonderful. So I'm very curious, as living in Holland, would you know how, in what way or what areas I could be to make a connection?
Pretty much anywhere. What city do you live in?
I live in Leiden. Leiden is the west of the country, coastal parts of the country.
There
To the south.
are leprechauns in Leiden area, yes.
Okay.
And even near the big cities, there's still leprechauns there. And some of them have taken on human form, like I have, to get their message across to other and co-create with humans.
Okay, so what would just asking in a channeled state open up to the area and ask for some information? Would they receive it and perhaps contact?
It depends. Their trust levels go from high to low. And of course, they're individuals, just like myself. My trust level is a little bit higher, maybe, than some of the others, because here I am. I trust you to behave and be courteous and all that. So, yes. But others may not be that trusting. So you can call. In your area, there's one that is higher known as Trenny. Trenny is in your area.
Okay, Trenny is a female or a male, just for my vision.
Is a male, Trenny, Trennie, Trenny.
Okay, a male. Okay, I will try to make contact. Thank you so much for coming through.
Yeah, he is more like a leader in his area. In that area, yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. I think others will have questions too. Thank you so much for coming through. A blessing.
Yes.
Hello, welcome. One more second. I'm just going to check the chat to see if there's a question, an additional question for you. I don't see any more questions, but I will say that it's really lovely to talk to you. Can you tell us a little bit about your origin? How did you come onto this earth? Have you always been here? How long have you been here?
No, we are actually not from this world. We are,
Okay.
we are considered elementals, but we're actually aliens. So it is not that we have come up through the elemental stages. We are very different than the elementals. The elementals are there for only ecology and were created for the earth. The leprechauns were here from another time period, another area of space. So, but we are here to help humanity, but we've not been able to get through to humanity the way that we wish. I think maybe communications are starting to get better, but we cannot seem to get through to the stubbornness of the and or development of the human race in the sense that they are all so individualized that they seem not to want to follow anything anymore. They want to only follow power. And we are not here to put power in their faces. We are here to bring interest, creativity, um, oneness, things of that nature to their attention. But it is difficult when they are wanting more power, more understanding of how to be greater. I think most people have thoughts of greatness within their beingness. We are not that way. We are not do not have thoughts of power. We do have thoughts of co-creation. We do have thoughts of bringing greater understanding to humans, and we have uh, ways and means to make the human race better, as well as our own. We must work together. It is not that we are going to work alone to create a greater world. We must work with all those that are willing to work with us.
I see. What about the iconography of you holding a pot of gold or a walking stick or with these things, wearing green, are all of these things correct, or is that just the myth that goes with leprechauns?
Well, green was our original color.
Mhm.
Green is we were green skinned, and so perhaps that's where the green came from, but we do not show ourselves as green any longer. The walking cane is because in the area of Ireland that we landed, and there was some areas that we had difficulty with the terrain, and so a stick was necessary. A pot of gold would be what our spaceship looked like. It looked like a golden pot. And
Oh,
so I mean, in some ways it did. With the language of your people at the time, that is what they interpreted as it's a golden pot. So they say that we had a golden pot, and that was actually the ship that we landed there.
so I guess if someone found your pot of gold, they were stealing your ship.
Yes, so it's very rare that anybody will actually find a pot of gold. We do not store gold. We do not, we work with human money and human currencies. We do not work with, we do have gold. I shouldn't say we have no gold. We do have some, but it is not in pots.
And what about the four-leaf clover?
That is something humans have created.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. I'm just checking back to make sure there's
Anything that's rare, they put thought into it and they make it into something special. Rarity, and like a four-leaf clover, is something that they will find enchanting and bring a legend to it or a thought to it. But the leprechauns had nothing to do with that.
Okay, thank you for that. Met Wally wants to know, what about the rainbows that are associated with you?
Rainbows, yes.
Also the pot of gold. Yeah.
Well, we are very, at first when we landed and our color was green, people could see our auras, which was a rainbow color. We had many different colors in our auras, and so perhaps that's where the rainbow came from. We do not actually control rainbows or even look for them, but we did originally have our auras exposed.
Interesting.
They were very
Interesting.
strong, yes.
Yes. Okay. And then there's a question about, I'm sure you can answer this because it's a question about what's going on in Antarctica. Is that a question we can ask you?
There are many things going on in Antarctica. Which things are you talking about?
He's saying, are there original humans living inside Antarctica who are not genuinely genetically manipulated and have contacted Germany?
There are contacts with Germany and United States, Russia, China, Japan, India, and many other places. There are many different countries involved with the things that are going on in Antarctica. And yes, there are a couple original humans there, but the original humans had to leave the planet a long time ago, or were taken off the planet a long time ago, and then returned.
What would a non-genetically manipulated human look like?
A non-genetically manipulated human looks more like he's taller. He's more in the 6'2" to 3" area. Always. They're always very tall. Always very hairy. Like they're not like a bear or like anything like that, but it just seems like the protective forces around them want them to be always protected with more hair than not. And so they look rather massive and hairy.
Like a Sasquatch?
No, they don't have that much hair.
Okay, okay. All right. Jill said, or Gile, I think that's the name, says is the one that asked the question, said she heard they look like Indians, but I don't know if
Well, Indians had many looks, and yes, they are dark colored, like the Indians in some ways. They have a certain look, but Indians are very fair. These beings are not fair looking. They're much more hawkish.
okay, because she was saying that she heard they had slim limbs.
They do have rather slim limbs, but their bodies are hulky. Well, it depends. There are some with very strong arms and things as well that are not thin. So they come in all different varieties since they have been mating on Antarctica. But it is that I still maintain that they're rather hairy looking. But they can shave, of course, and be fair spaced, but their hair grows very quickly.
Okay, and then there's another question saying, have they died? Do they never die? Or are they continuing to breed? Are they
They
return?
breed. They do die. Their lifespans are that of a lesser, it's a lesser lifespan actually. But when they were taken off planet, they were given some injections and things of that nature that made them live a little bit longer. Other than that, they were not manipulated. But their lifespans are the same as humans.
And are they more evolved than us or less evolved than us?
Well, since they've been taken away and trained, their evolution is a little higher than yours, probably.
Okay. And Steve wants to know, do certain individuals hold genetic materials of the original humans here on Earth?
Of course. Yes. That's just it just has to be, yes. Because the original humans were manipulated, so you will still find some of their DNA in your blend of DNAs.
Thank you. Ina says that when you came on, her heart center started glowing and she wants to know if she knows you from another place.
There is a good possibility that she knows me now. I might be one of her friends, or possibly one of her relatives, or something of that nature. Who knows? I usually, if something like that happens, I'm very close by.
Thank you. And then $5 Hug wants to know, is our 12-strand DNA active now, or when will it be active?
It is not fully active. Many people on your planet say that the 12 strands of the DNA are active. They are there, but that does not mean that they are active. They are not even in your reality, in your density. They are outside of your density, but they are there for your evolutionary development. Now, as you move into higher areas of understanding, some of these will activate. Some of these will become greater, or you may start feeling the sensation of the activation of other strands. Also, if you were ever taken off planet and put with aliens, they would have to activate the strands that would help you survive within that alien race, which is not what it is activated at this time.
Okay, thank you. And then again, $5 Hug says, I hear we have 144 strand DNA at capabilities. Is this true? And how do we activate?
No, you do not have that many in your, let me put it this way. You have 12 strand DNA that is not within your realm, but it is outside of your realm, waiting for evolution to happen. Now, eventually, 144 strand DNA will happen in very, very high ascension levels, which will not happen for hundreds of years for you yet. So even though they may be out there somewhere, they will not be initialized or activated for a long, long time. And they're impossible to activate on this planet. So it is that, yes, they may exist somewhere in the future, but they do not exist now. And how to activate them? The activation of the DNA is through evolution. So as you evolve in your thought processes, your spirituality, things of this nature, then these things also become more aligned to you. As you become a greater individual, stronger, higher frequency, these strands resonate with different frequencies of beingness. And so raise yourself up as high as you can, and you will activate more than one strand of DNA. There are those that have strands of DNA that are already activated, but they will only be probably the third strand, or either that or the third and fourth strand, but they will not go any higher than that at this point in human development.
Okay. Thank you. There's a question from Joan. She asked me to read it. She said, is it true that most elementals or leprechauns are fallen angels and given the chance to ascend like humanity?
Not exactly, no. We are from another world. We are not fallen angels. We know of fallen angels that are on this planet, but we are not part of that group. We are something different. And we are here to help humanity ascend. We have ascended beyond humanity in some senses, but not in others. With being third dimensional in our density, we can only expand so far as spiritual beings, and we are trying to help humanity move forward with us. We want that co-creation. We want to be able to come together with humanity and be part of it, and they be part of us, because we are adaptable to one another.
Okay, thank you for that. There's a question from Usi, and he says, are some ETs able to speak to God? If yes, how?
They are able to speak to God in the sense that they know of a vibration that connects to something other than material things. These are very, very high individuals indeed. They're in high frequencies. But I do not know of any beings that can speak to God directly.
Okay. Okay, there's a question that says, one second, it says, the human pure DNA, does it have something to do with negative type blood? I think she means what is it, Rh negative?
Rh negative? Perhaps there is, yes. I would think so, because that is a kind of blood type that seems alien to your planet at this time, because it is so rare. So the Rh negatives and things of that nature. There are other blood types that are also rare and they're more alien, but the original human cast from the planet may be Rh negative. I would have to check on that to make sure. But I would think that there would be some sign of the original humans in a blood type.
Okay, and then spiritual love says, wait a minute. Some people say that original humans were not modified, are way more evolved than us, but also some people who have ET DNA can have some privileges. Is that right?
Yes and yes. They are evolved beyond your human thought process, but they are not that far beyond your human process. Otherwise, they would not come back here. But yes, and aliens will. I don't know how to answer the second part of that, but it is that aliens are part of what is going on. Yes.
And then the last question I have is it the ET interference with our DNA made us more limited, but others say it benefited us, such as the Pleiadian DNA.
The Pleiadian and other DNAs benefit you in some ways. Let me tell you how. With Pleiadians, they're very fair, they're very mild-mannered, they're very thought-oriented, they're very careful, I mean, there's many things in their DNA that causes them to be advanced, probably more socially advanced than the people on your planet right now. Other DNAs will enhance spirituality, strength, IQ, whereas Pleiadians are more emotional IQ. Some other strands would be intellectual IQ or intelligent quotient. They will be modestly better for humans, but they would not make them geniuses or anything of that nature, because the comprehension and the interaction of their DNA within your DNA will nullify many of the great things that they would have to offer, because your body just is not used to that. Your body wants to work normally, and so it might turn down some of these advancements in your system. Now, some people, if they are ready for these DNAs, will advance, will become greater, will find that they have higher spiritual understanding, will have a greater intellectual paralysis, you know the word. But they will definitely enhance some people more than others. Depending on how much the body is wanting to accept that DNA.
Understood. And spiritual love made a further comment saying that the Anunnaki wanted to limit us because they wanted us more as slaves. They wanted to limit our awareness. So maybe some enhanced, some limited, some.
Well, it is true that the Anunnaki did not want you to reach their level immediately. They could have made it so that they could do that, but they did not do that. They wanted to keep you as sort of slaves in some ways, but not all slaves. They wanted you just not to have the IQ that they have or the understanding that they have, so they could manipulate you more easily and get you to do the things that they would like you to do instead of taking them over.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. That was all the questions I think we have now.
Very well.
Yes, it was lovely having you. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Much love.
Much love to you. Thank you.
Be aware that we are in your realm and that we are existing as humans, human types. You will know us if you are very aware. You will understand that we are of a different thought process.
Mm. Okay. Thank you.
One moment. Yeah. Yeah. One moment, please.
Yes,
One
sir.
moment. Yeah.
I have no idea who this is.
Oh, right. I'm sure you don't.
I have no idea. Unbelievable.
I'm ready for you.
You are? Welcome.
I'm
Welcome.
Grendel.
Welcome, Grendel. It's so lovely to have you. I'm only joking. Of course, we know from the first
You do.
run.
I knew you
And
were
the chat and YouTube is getting lots of hearts and all suddenly flying up. People love
Oh,
Grendel.
very nice. Thank you. Thank you. I love your love. Yeah, love it.
So, who requested Grendel? Was it Michael?
I believe it was.
Yes, greetings, Grendel.
Greetings,
Michael, go
Michael.
ahead.
How are you?
I was just wanting to know if you could give us all an update on what's going on.
Oh, many things, many things. I know that many of you, and I've seen this all over the United States, that many people have stopped watching the news since President Trump has taken office because they don't want to hear any more about him or what he's doing. However, what he's doing is really, he's changing the government completely. This is no longer going to be a democracy. By the time he's done changing the government, it probably will be an oligarchy with one or more people in charge of all people. Right now, he is showing that he is making so many changes by himself with no other help and causing other things to happen with no other help that he is actually a dictator at the moment. But nobody will recognize that at the moment because he's not proclaiming it yet. But as far as I can see, he wants to take over the government completely and change it. He's not following the Constitution. He's not following law. He is looking into changing Medicare, Medicaid, the school systems, labor, the IRS, Social Security. It's going to be all inclusive. That is a problem. If he cuts Social Security, many people will not be able to survive. If he cuts medical plans and things of that nature, people will not be able to survive. Now, his tariffs are going to cause the nation to have greater debt because the tariffs that are coming back will be just as bad as the tariffs he's sending out. So other countries will bombard him with their tariffs if he bombards them with his. So we do not see any improvement in food prices or anything of that nature, or gas prices or anything else. He also tore down the AID, which is funding for all the different poor countries and things of that nature. No longer any funding for any poor countries. He cut it off completely. It's done. And everybody that worked there were thrown out into the street without even a notice. He is going to be doing this more often. He has fired many, many people, and they are now They are unemployed and they have no way of being employed, and he is it's just a rough time. You may say, oh yes, but in a few years it'll all come around. But as I see it at the moment, it's not coming around. It's actually becoming strained. But I do not want to bring all bad news. That's not what I'm here for. But you did ask. And the thing is, he might eventually make things a little better for some people, but not for the poor. The poor and the middle class will suffer.
Well, thank you so much, Grendel, and blessings. And I'll just let someone else ask a question. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Also, militarily, militarily and everything, I think this is a very weak cabinet, but that's all I can say about it at this moment. We'll see how they operate.
Okay, Wendy has a question. Go ahead, Wendy.
Greetings, Grendel. How are you?
I am well, but frustrated.
Okay. Yes, I think many of us are under that same window umbrella. So the other day I was looking at my tree outside my yard, and it gave me the name Helen. And then immediately afterwards, a being by the name of Astar started talking to me and having a conversation with me. And so they never really indicated who they were, but it seemed like a kind, helpful conversation. And I'm wondering if you could give me more information, because they said, "Oh, we're gonna," or I, not we, but I'm always going to be around you. You can just have a conversation with me anytime now.
Yes, the full name is Asterna.
Asterna.
Asterna is one of your guides. You traded out one of your guides for Asterna, and Helen was his mate.
Oh. And what planet are they from, or what system? Are they elementals?
They are not elementals. They are from Teslula.
Teslula. Oh, is that where this new light language came from then today that I spoke?
Yes.
Oh, beautiful.
Tesluna is not even in this galaxy. It's beyond it.
Is that also associated with the astral travel I was doing with all those crystals that they look like Andara crystals, but they would change color with your intention, and then they also would change color, so they would like light up, like when you play music and lights go on, the crystals would light up. Was that also
Frequency
from?
variations? Yes, that is part of it. Yes, the astral travel is frequency variation. As you astral travel, your frequency changes within your astral being. And so it depends on where you are going, what your frequency will become. Now, remember, astral travel is between dimensions and densities, but still within that range of non-density and dimension, there are still all the frequencies of the universe. So as you astral travel, you may get a glimpse of other places, other universes, other whatevers. But it is, some people believe in only one universe, but there are actually more. But the thing is about these frequencies is they go through every universe. This is a non-dimensional area that goes through all universes. So you may see some very unusual things in your astral travels depending on your frequency.
I see. Oh. I also channeled this week a gentleman by the name of Running Bear of the Wild Rivers. What area is he from, or what native?
Where did you encounter this individual?
It was
I
when
do
I
not
was
know that name.
It was when I was channeling this past week, and he definitely came in as Native American and had
Oh,
messages.
yes, it sounds like it, yes.
Yeah. And had messages of unity and talking about humanity going back toward more community, and was encouraging, if I recall, like more like kind of like circle celebrations, and then kind of closed out the channeling with a large bonfire. So,
Well, let me tell you, there are many Native Americans that had the name Running Bear. What was the other part?
of the wild rivers.
Of the wild rivers would have to be somewhere in the Colorado area, I think. Yes, the wild river, there's a wild river in those areas. There's wild rivers in a lot of places, but I picture him in the Colorado area. So he was giving you great messages of peace and tranquility and understanding and all that. And the bonfire is as one of the signs of enlightenment. The fire is the warmth of their civilization, the warmth of the sun. It's many symbols for them.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much for that understanding. I appreciate you being here, and I know we all love you, myself included.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Barb, sorry, go ahead.
I feel very unlovable sometimes. But anyway, who has the next question?
Barbara does.
Very well.
Greetings, Grendel. How are you today?
I am very well.
Good. Hey, Wednesday night, I was in my bed doing some work, and I noticed a gray alien walk past my bedroom door. What really stuck in my mind was the fact that this being was so graceful, walking across my bedroom door like they were floating, but they never looked in to check on me or anything like that. Now, were they there by accident, or was there a reason for him to be there?
He was probably following a certain course, not knowing that you could see him, of course. He goes through buildings, he goes through different things because he is not of earthly nature. And so his density is high enough that he can walk through walls and things of that nature. So he was there moving toward his mission. The only reason why you saw him is because you have the ability to.
Yeah,
Otherwise, most people would never have seen him.
I'm pretty excited because I saw a reptilian in my apartment, but I knew who that was. It was somebody off of my husband's ship.
Yes.
So now it was a doctor off his ship. Now, does that gray have a name?
I do not know who it was, to be honest with you. I know that there are several grays on your planet that are moving toward the east. Was he moving east?
Okay, thank you so much. Many blessings.
He was moving toward the east because they are having a large gathering in the east somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where that is. I heard rumors of that a couple different times.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay, thank you, Grendel. Much love.
Very well, thank you.
Sierra has a question. Hi, Sierra. I didn't see you here. Welcome. Can you unmute and ask?
Greetings. Yes, thank you for having me. I have a question, and if there's any advice on handling any type of stressful or fear, what is the best way to handle those things?
Stress and fear, those are things that are destroyers. Stress and fear bring people down and stop them from moving forward. So what I would say is this: whatever you're afraid of, look at it in a way that is unfearful. Meaning that what is the fear?
Currently losing my job. We've been doing a lot of layoffs, and also just in general, because being here is not like it used to be. A lot of things are terrifying.
Yes, I understand. This planet is terrifying at the moment in many different ways. But let me tell you this. If you put your faith in God, if you put your faith where you know that there is help, he will help you through that. He will help you to rise above it. You'll see things a little differently if you know that you are protected. I know many people say, I can't put my faith in God because I don't see him. I don't know what he's doing. I don't feel like he ever is in my area, or I can't sense his presence in any way, shape, or form. But God does work with his people. If you do put your faith in him, he will work with you. He will calm you down. Also, with stress and fear, deep breaths and calming relaxation music will help. But when you have these kinds of fears of losing jobs, of being out on the streets, etc., it's hard to calm that down. But let me give you a couple examples. There are people that have been at the very edge of their money, no money left, and God provided. How? It's a miracle, but it does happen when you put your faith. They never stopped believing that he would help. So it did happen that he did help. I can give you more than one example of that, but you must keep faith, must know that you are going to be all right. And I see who you are, and I love you. You're a very kind and wonderful person. And I think that your fears are truly founded in this realm, but they do not need to be. You can put your fears aside because you will be all right. Start looking for something else right now. Start looking for a way out, because if you are frozen by fear, that means you're trapped. Do not stay in the trap. Make a move. You have to move one way or another. Do not be afraid to move. Do not be afraid to step outside the box. Do not be afraid to just say, heck with it. I'm going to do this or that or the other thing. You must be able to get beyond the fear so that you can survive and succeed.
Thank you. Much love.
I love you very much. Take care. And I see that there are those around you that care for you. You do have a support system. Is that correct?
Yes.
So your support system is looking out for you as well. You know that you will never be homeless.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Radha has a question.
Hello, Grendel.
Greetings, my dear.
So wonderful to connect with you.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you. Sorry, go ahead.
No, and to connect with you as well.
I wanted to ask you about an experience I had, and so there were two incidents where I was at one where I was at a conference, and one in a cafe where I sent love energy to the group. And I felt a big shift, as if I was transported to another timeline or to another frequency. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, whenever you send love to a group, that's a different frequency than what is within the group at that moment, meaning that you're changing the frequency within the group by your own presence of love and sending that out. You're changing vibrations in not only the people, but in everything around you. So frequency is very important in your realm. So yes, you are transported to the frequency of that love. That love has its own frequency, and it has its own domain, if you wish. It has, whenever people are feeling very strong love, they feel different. They feel like they are in a different place sometimes. even with romantic love and things of that nature, you can be transported to a different place in your mind or your earth space into a realm of higher frequency and dimension. So it is that, yes, you are experiencing the love domain. So it is a strong, powerful thing. Some people experience it without experiencing it, meaning that they know something has happened, but they don't realize that they've shifted. But they just feel good and they feel positive and they feel amazing. So these are the kinds of things that shift you into different domains of experience. Anger can do that. You can shift your energy into anger domain, which can overcome you and change your frequency and dimension. So there are many things that emotions that can bring you into different domains. That's why emotions are very important to humans, is because humans do not realize how important emotions are in making decisions, in living their lives, and being more productive.
I see. Wow, beautiful. I'm so happy to get that clarification, because since it happened twice and I noticed the energetic difference,
Of
it seemed
course.
like the love I sent out sort of came back and changed the vibration of the environment.
Correct.
So one other question I had for you is, as you know, the Kumbh Mela is going on in India at the moment.
Yeah.
What impact is it having on the earth or the ascension, or what impact is it having?
It's having a good impact, actually. Not everyone there is ready for the impact that it's making. There are some low frequency people still at that particular gathering. However, it's doing very well. Those that are in tune and enlightened are causing a great ripple effect across the planet. But I wish they could stay there for 10 years, because it needs the planet needs a lot of energy.
Okay. Well, hopefully it's continuing to make a positive
It is.
difference.
It is. Are you there?
No, well, I'm in India, but I'm not at the Kumbh Mela. I don't think that's something I could handle.
Why not?
Oh my God. Just large, out of control groups, not my
I
thing.
see. Yes. Not all of them are positive frequencies, but most of them are.
I was there. It was great.
Very good.
Yes, Krishna Priya, she's the strong one there. I'll send my love from afar.
Yes. I sensed that you were in that area, though.
Well, I did send my energies out there, so
Very well.
um,
Very good.
good speaking with you. Take care.
Very well. I will speak to you soon.
Um, Joan has a question, and then Stephanie. Go ahead, Joan.
Greetings. I have a
Greetings.
question about my dream about the superhuman Martian that came to this Earth. It was happened like a tornado, and then it forms with like a tree, but the tree forms with the ship, like those flying saucers on the on the trees. There's the leaves, but then the leaves forms like flying saucers, and they come and invade the earth. And also they come to my house also. And one of the my brother, they recruit him to become a soldier or superhuman. And they asked me if I am also in Martian a superhuman something. And I told them no, because I told them that I am a half alien. That is
Well,
It's
Okay.
funny, and but then because of the they notice it that my I think there's some abilities that the paper stick with me with the paper from aliens, but I think they told me that one of their leaders is like Elon Musk is from Martian. Is that
Oh, he's actually from Orion, but he's
oh
but he knows about the Martians. He's from Orion. But the thing is, and he has a little bit of reptilian in him there too. So, but anyway, your dream is about actually the tree people that are very angry at the earth. The tree people are angry because you harvest trees constantly and you're always cutting them down, you're always misusing them, turning them into paper and all kinds of things. And the tree people know about these activities of humans. And so they are planning an attack on humanity eventually, not for 100 years, but still, that's still in the near future as far as the universe is concerned. But they are very upset with humanity.
oh I see.
So there are other parts of your dream about being super beings. That is that they want to bring as many people into their force as they can, and they promise to make them stronger and bigger and all that stuff. That I don't know if it's possible, but I just know about them because of all the different things that are announced in the galaxy.
I see. And one more question. I have this chest in my probably in my high heart. I have this when I breathe, take a deep breath, I can feel this ball of energy and like a fiery and cool. Because I don't know what's going on in that. Can you tell me? Can you explain to me
Well,
what's
yes,
going on?
like Radha, you're changing your frequencies inside to be slightly different than it. So keep that in mind that you're able to change your frequency at will if you wish to. So it's not anything unusual, but just people that are more spiritual can feel it.
I see. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Stephanie has a question. Go ahead, Stephanie.
Thanks. Hi, Grendel.
Greetings.
Thanks for taking our questions. I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you.
I have two questions, unrelated to each other. The first one is, I'm having a hard time reconciling this being the age of Aquarius when we are staring down the barrel of an oligarchy in our country. Can you talk to me about that in some way that will...
All right.
Yeah.
The age of Aquarius is going to last for a while. So you're in a decline right now, but that decline will not last. It will go for so many years and then it will change. The reason for that is that it must change. Remember how even when you're buying products and things, you'll see the graph go up, then down, then it'll go back up again, and then down and up. That is the way your world works. The energy frequencies go up and down, and as different periods come along, even though you're in the Aquarian period, there can be downs. And so, but by the end of the Aquarian period, that will be very different. I assure you.
But this is a transition that's going to take many years, it sounds.
Yes, it is going to take years, but it's a transition that must happen. The only way it can transition is to go down and then up. Because why? Because mankind must experience what he's doing wrong before he can to change it.
I understand that then. Okay. Well, thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Second question is about the meetings that take place periodically
Of course.
When are they scheduled to be conducted again, and how is, or maybe they're in the process? I'm just wondering what the conversations will be around what's
yeah.
happening in this country.
I think they're going to start again. They were originally planned for the end of April. Now they have been pushed back to the end of May. So I believe that at the end of May, the galactic meetings will start again. But this particular president is not really that interested in some of the things that the Galactic Council has to say. And so he pushed it back, wanting to get his own agenda in place a little bit farther before he does anything of that nature.
Well, that's disappointing, but I'll stay
confident.
Yeah.
Believe me, I mean,
yeah, stay
yes,
prayerful.
there's going to be a little bit of hard times coming, but you will not be directly affected, I don't believe.
Okay. Well, that's comforting. I will stay prayerful. Thank you so much again. Those were my two questions. Thanks again.
Very well. Have a great day.
Thank you. Adriana has a question. Go ahead, Adriana.
Yes.
Hello, Grendel. Very nice to meet you.
I can hardly hear you.
Can you hear me now?
No, you need to, are you close to your mic?
Okay, how about that?
Better.
Much better.
Yeah.
All right. So nice to meet you, Grendel, and thank you for coming. I'm sure I'm not the only person who has this question. I'm a Canadian American citizen, so dual citizen, and I am just wondering, is Canada going to fare any better? And for all of us who are dual citizens, is it worth it to move?
Well, Canada's under its own kind of problems. I mean,
Yeah.
they have their own problems with Trudeau and all that. So they're not much better off than the United States, actually, at this point. So I would not say moving would be the answer at this point. Just sit tight and bear with it until we get through this hard part, and then it will slowly get a little better. You will see what I mean in a few years, but it's going to take some time for things to start looking different.
Okay, thank you. I'll pass the mic.
Yes.
Thank you. We have quite some questions in the YouTube chat, so I'm just going to go through them because all of them are relevant here. Okay. Demis is asking if there's any improvement in the politics in the Philippines.
I'm not, well, the politics of the Philippines has been going on for a long time. I do say that there is a couple things that I see that are in their favor, and that is that they have a cardinal there that's very popular, and perhaps in the religious realm, he can bring some unity to that area and unity to thought process. In fact, he is possibly going to be the next pope.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry, cat is banging on the door. Let me see. I'm skipping some of the very personal question. Lena says that many in the spiritual community are encouraged with the government in the USA, saying that Mr. Trump is fighting the deep state. What is the status of good versus evil at this time?
You must understand that he is, if you are wanting to live in a democracy, he is not your guy. He is going to change the face of the government completely. Some people are in favor of that because they didn't like the way it was. However, if you want to live in an oligarchy or a dictatorship, that is something else. He is making all the decisions on his own. He is not really paying attention to anything that Congress or the Senate has to say. Remember that this is supposed to be run by more than one person. And so many people who voted for him think he's doing an amazing job. But of course, they're not really paying attention to all the things that he's really doing. He wrote 200, he had 200 signatures on his first day of office. And people cannot keep up with all the things that he has done already. And many of them are against the law or against the Constitution. I think that you should consider that.
Okay. Thank you for that. Okay. Let me see. Aoli, type your question one more time. Someone's saying their question isn't showing up. Steve Helms says, what help did the implant from the stomach put in and taken out by the, I guess it was an implant put in him. He says, what help did the implant from the stomach put in and taken out by the reptilians going so far?
It's, well, it doesn't, I think it's going well. I'm looking at it now, but you may not feel the final final progression of it. It's slow working at this point, but it is doing better. There will be some scar tissues.
Okay. Rebecca says, Grendel, do you have a time frame when we will see the changes to Medicare and Medicaid systems? How will state Medicaid systems be impacted?
Well, that I don't know yet. It is, I have not read the full plan that he is putting out. There's too many plans. He had all, when he won the presidency, he started working immediately to write up plans and had many people write up plans. And so he just signed off on them as he became president. And so no one is up to date yet because it's just been 1 month since he's been a president, of all the different things that he is actually planning to do or what effects that his government will have. We know that he is looking into changes with Medicaid and Medicare, but we don't know exactly what those changes are. But he has mentioned them more than once.
Okay. Rosangela wants to know, is there any updates on close contact?
Close contact is happening at some levels, especially in the far north and the far south. So it is that there are some areas of the world that are not afraid of first contact or not afraid of contact at all and have actually experienced it, such as Peru and Argentina and Chile. And then there are some that are in the north part of Canada, the north part of other places that are experiencing people landing and contacts as well. So it is that it is happening and it will continue to happen because they don't care about those areas because it's not in the main populace and the people around the earth really are not seeing what's going on.
Okay, thank you for that. Swazi asked a question that I can answer about Kumbh Mela, if you don't mind, for just a moment. She
Yes.
wants to know why the Kumbh Mela is only once every 144 years. And that's not actually the case. The Kumbh Mela is every 12 years. They call it a full Kumbh Mela, but there's a half Kumbh every 6 years. And it alternates between 4 different cities. Which is where the Amrit has dropped, which is the sort of immortality dropped. But the Maha Kumbh, which is the great Kumbh Mela, is only once every 144 years because of the planetary alignment that is only once every 144 years. So I just
Correct.
wanted to, trying to type that in the chat, and I thought I would just say it out loud.
Yes, It's correct. The grand one is every 144 years because
Yes.
that is 12 times 12. And
Yes.
so you have every year with one of those celebrations, but only after the 12th celebration is there a grand one.
Thank you. Okay, okay. Anantha says millions of people have invested in foreign currency from Iraq and Vietnam, etc. They are saying it will reevaluate any day now. Is this true?
Unfortunately, I don't think it is, because there is a fund called the Saint Germain Fund, and it is in the Vatican, I believe, or somewhere in that area, somewhere in Italy. I believe it's in the Vatican. And that Saint Germain Fund has not been released, and I do not see them looking to release it anytime soon. But I am hopefully thinking that at one point they will have to release it.
Okay, thank you. Mark says, was Trump replaced by a clone, or is he being influenced by ETs?
I think that he's not a clone. I don't think that. I do think that he has been influenced, but I'm not sure by who. His influence is more of the other very high-powered individuals in the world, such as Putin and Kim Jong-un and those kind of people. That's where his influence is, and he wants to be like them.
Okay. Joe requests healing for his sister with her
Very
hand.
good.
Met Wally wants to know, how is the Earth doing with the axis and the polar flip and the solar activity?
Oh, it's still going on. I mean, they are stopping it, of course, but it is still happening. It's moving inches instead of feet, but it's ultimately going to flip, but they're going to try to hold out for a couple 100 years until you can get off the planet.
All right, perfect. Let me see. Oh, Swazi wants to know, is COVID ever going away? People are still sick from it.
Yes and no. COVID is something that they are creating. So in that sense, no, it's not going to go away because they keep it going. They keep it purposely going. But the shots for it, yeah, I would just, it's not as bad as it used to be. COVID is not a deadly disease anymore. I mean, it can be still, but it is not as virulent as it used to be. So getting a flu shot, getting a pneumonia shot, getting that kind of thing will help you along. And that will also help you with the COVID as well.
Okay, thank you. Let me see, I'm going back. I'm wondering if Aoli wanted to know, can you tell us the truth behind the Anunnaki and us?
The truth is out there, yeah. The truth is, I mean, there are many different truths. I'm not sure which one you're looking for, but
Well, there was a comment in the chat that the Anunnaki were the Elohim. I don't know if that is true
no,
or
that's not true. No.
okay.
The Elohim are a god group. The Anunnaki are not.
Okay. Okay, but what was the truth about the Anunnaki and us?
The Anunnaki actually did help with making humans prettier, and the DNA manipulation. Yes, they did have parts of that. Yes, that is the truth. And people do not know if it's true or not, but that was the main thing the Anunnaki did, was they manipulated DNA, and they were able to make humans look prettier, as well as Sophia. Sophia was there at that time as well.
Okay, Gotcha Matcha says, can you suggest any herbs that can reset the reward system in the human brain to overcome addictions?
Um, Herbs?
Yeah,
Well, you would need to, I would say, what would have to happen is they would have to do something that would cleanse the system. And some things that can cleanse the system are also very powerful drugs. I would have to look into that to see what's safe. I'm not sure what is safe to use for that kind of outcome. But I would think ayahuasca,
yeah,
even though it is a powerful drug, would cleanse the system and clear the brain.
yeah. Yeah, I agree with
That's just a guess.
that. Yeah. Steve Helm wants to know how many Earthborn humans live off planet?
Many, 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 many. Earthborn humans have been taken off the planet since the beginning of time, actually. But a lot were taken during the 50s and 60s. You might not be aware of all the missing persons report. It was not broadcast that people were missing during those eras because they couldn't answer the questions. They didn't want to be bombarded with people saying, what happened to this person? What happened to that person? So they didn't make it news. They didn't make it something that was in the news. They told everybody to keep it very quiet, that people were missing, and they didn't know what happened to them, but they would do research and try to find out. But they never did, because these people were taken off the planet. Some of them were taken off the planet in a way that nobody could know, like their place burned down, but the aliens took them before their place burned down. Whole families. So there are many that have been taken from your planet. And they live on Kior. They live on many other planets. Kior is one of the main planets they live on. They live on Mars. They live on Kior. They live on a couple other different places in the universe. They're in Orion. They are in Cassiopeia. There's not large amounts. The biggest population of off-world humans is in Kior.
Does it have the same Earth properties? Is that why they're able to live there
Yes.
easily?
The
Yeah.
beings of Kior look very human, except that they have a unibrow.
Oh, nice.
They have a unibrow, and humans do not have a unibrow, not usually. But the Kiors do have a unibrow, and their ears are smaller. But they look very human. They look like a human with small ears and a unibrow.
Great. Perfect. All right. Thank you for that. And then Adriana has a question.
Hello again.
Greeting.
I was wondering, is there any way to tell if somebody is a walk-in? I had a friend of 30 years, and after a stay in the hospital for suicidality, her personality was drastically different to the point that I had to sever the friendship.
What did it become? What kind of
Very angry.
very angry? So yes, I don't know if that was a walk-in or the fact that the suicide failed and she really wanted it to work. And so some of those people that have failed suicides often get very angry because they did want the suicide to work and they don't want to live in this world. And nothing that you can do can calm that down. Now, it could be a walk-in or a negative being within her. That is a possibility. I would have to see the person and talk to them to know for sure.
Okay, thank you.
She said, thank you. Okay, this is the last question. It's from Inez, and she says, what do you do in your spare free time?
Me?
And how do you fill your heart? Yeah.
Well, in my spare time, which is very little, I like to go to my planet and roll around in the yellow mud. That's very common or calming to me. I talk to my children and wife, and we do play games. There's holographic games that are available to the family, so we do that. That fills my heart well, most of the time, yes. But I'm very busy here on this planet, so I have to tell you, it's rough.
Well, we need you, Grendel, so thank you for everything you're doing and for helping
You're
us and interpreting all of this for us, all the crazy stuff going on.
Yes, it is crazy,
Yeah.
but it will work out sometime in the future. You'll see. At least it's supposed to.
All right. Much love to you. Thank you so much, Grendel. Please, I mean, you're always welcome, and don't be a
Thanks.
stranger. Even drop in when we don't call you. That's even better.
Well, I usually wait till I'm called.
Excuse me, consider an open invitation all the time.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's
Thank you.
very kind.
All right. Well, much love to you, and we will hopefully see you sooner rather than later.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. Now get out of here, yeah.
All right.
Hello? Hello?
Oh, welcome. Thank you. Thank you for that. We had we had leprechauns and Grendel and Elijah and Metatron and
Wow,
other
okay.
beings I can't remember. Who else was here?
I don't remember.
There you go. But very nice. Yeah, it was great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Should we call in Will to come do a blessing?
Yes.
before we go?
Sure. Come on in, Will. Come into the major.
Come, Will. Will's in the other room. So there he is. Oh, there's Angie as well.
Yes.
Okay.
We called the
And then
gang in
directly
from
following,
Tim's
yeah,
living room.
directly following the blessing, if Angie can do our announcement, that would be fantastic.
All right, very good.
Or no, or yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, great.
Very good.
Isotor akana ashiati. Nara atataka asha hoku utorha. Yaya hakawa ashna ahi. Yoro okahawa. Nitohota. Naska a. Shko ora aro haya a. Sika asha awa hayatitaha. Nara hatitaha na awashaha. Kohuso ona. Nisko hawa artuha. Soto utana wa acha atitaha. Shokwanara. Na tahatara arkwaha. Huko ora haswana aitiara. Na hasuko uyara. Shiatsa awara artko asha anatihi. Nara araha. Kucha awarha tu usha. Niso okaha. Nata ataha. Otarwa shayahukaya. Niska ataharka.
There is many dreadful things going on in the universe, but hold fast to that which is good and positive. There are those things that you must know about, but you must not get involved too deeply with them. Hold fast to the goodness and the kindness, the love and the spirituality of the things that you are doing so that you may move forward in the most positive way possible. You are the chosen ones to rise up and do things that others cannot do. There are many different kinds of groups of people around this planet, but this group was raised up to be leaders. This group is raised up to be positive. This group was raised up to shed their incorruptibilities or their corruptibilities and make them incorruptible. It is time for everyone in this planet to know that there are things needing to be done immediately. Lift each other immediately. Keep each other in communication with you always. Do not let isolation destroy friendship. Do not let isolation destroy what is coming, because you must band together to be strong. You must band together to know that which is good and know how to bring positive information to each other in a way that it will make them better and help them grow. It is a time of great wonder. You will see great wonders in this time, AI and all those things that are around it. It will be the central focus for many years, but be aware that it is not always the most truthful or the most honest way to get your information. Keep yourself aware of the truth. Thank you.
Announcements. Jim and I went to the EES system, and we made a recording and we did an interview with the owners of that. We're gonna hopefully get this up, and we will either have it as one of our Saturday webinars. Also, the announcement is we've got 2 new channelers coming in. We have Aurora Luna Star coming in next month, and the week after, the month after that, we have Neil Gower coming in, and we're very excited to have new faces come in. That's all the announcements right now.
Yeah, and one last announcement. For everyone that is worried about what's going on in our country, and I'm speaking particularly about the US, pressure on your elected representatives helps. Pressure on the Democrats, pressure on the Republicans. If you're directly affected by being fired, or your Medicare is cut, or your Medicaid is cut, let your representatives know, because they are the ones that in this moment have the power to stop everything that's happening, but they're not stopping anything. So if you don't agree, call your senator, call your governor, call your congressman, and let them know. And if there's a town meeting, go and voice your concern, because if everyone remains silent, nothing will change. So please, this is your call to action, to be vigilant, but also to be involved. Your voice matters. It really matters.
Yep,
Yeah.
I agree. Well, I hope everyone has a wonderful day, a wonderful week, a wonderful month. March is coming very shortly, and I'm hoping for warmer weather.
We can all hope for that. All right, everyone, thank you so much. Thank you to everyone in the YouTube chat. Thank you to everyone in our room, in our Zoom room, to the new people that have been coming, Aaron and Sierra. Nice to have you here. And there was someone else.
Welcome.
That,
Welcome,
who was
Aaron
the
and
other
Sierra.
person?
That's good to see you.
And Leslie is a guest as well. And then there was someone who was here, but the Nero or something like that, but maybe you changed your name. Maybe that was Aaron. I'm not sure. Anyway, welcome to everyone and much love to you. And we will see you next week. All right. Thank you.
Welcome,
Bye.
everyone.